What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Hood Talk. This is your boy, Mr. Know It All, and welcoming Miss Bella, the lovely Miss Bella, ready to get the show started. So, how they say, let's get it started. Tell them what we're talking about tonight.
Well, before we get started, hello everyone. Happy Tuesday. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to Marcus Honeysucker on YouTube and Mr. Know It All on Facebook. One other great thing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing. You can do that thing. We will greatly appreciate it here at Hood Talk. So now we want to talk tonight, a discussion. We want to know, ladies, gentlemen, we want to know. So you are raising boys to be men that you would date. So you got these sons out here, these boys that you're rearing as your child, raising them to be men, but you're turning them into the type of man that you wouldn't date. So let's see why and what's the faults and action in doing so. Mr. Know It All.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's get with it. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Miss Retta Hopkins up in his house. We finna get this show started. We finna get it started. We finna get it started. Okay. All right. The biggest problem. What do you think the biggest problem with raising a son that you would want to date?
I feel that the number one thing, us as women, that raises a son that we would want to date, somebody that can be responsible, can handle their own and not relying on someone to come in and do the job for them or come and take care of them. Things like that. Like they're willing to go out and work and build his life with short and long term goals. And a lot of times we don't think about that. We don't teach the children about saving money, or building a future with the family. We kind of rock our boys into sometimes ways that we want them to be. Not knowing that our sons do have their own personality. The only thing we can do is just give basic instruction. But I can't say that we can tell a boy son to how to be exactly like a man. But we should go and put them around other male figures that can give them that man perspective. So we can teach them the morals, the standards of life, but just being a man on all levels, I think you have to get these sons involved. If the father isn't home, get these sons involved with other male figures.
Okay, I'm glad you said it like that because I believe the ultimate way to do it is to actually have somebody that you would like to date around them and it instill them, the sons and the qualities of the same man that you got, that you can put out there that you say, I wanted a man like this. So what my man is teaching my son, now I can see my man in my son. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times um we want to put so many stipulations. We want to make it seem like we kind of know what we doing, and we kind of we kind of raising a boy on the image we might want, but not actually being a man. So when I say the image, I think we want the certain clothes on him, and certain shoes he wear, all that, because we noticed that even in the 90s, and when Jordan was coming up playing basketball, everybody wanted your man wearing Jordan, your baby wearing Jordan, everybody wearing Jordan. So you would dress your son up of kind of like the man that you would love to be dressed up as. And then I think something switching now where we gave a lot of control to the children, and they stopped being raised by men and they started being raised by women. And so with over 70% of women raising a child by themselves, you can't help but to put out something that you wouldn't like, or you wouldn't understand. Because think about this here: if you don't have a man in your life that you like, how could you put this around your son to make your son like you? Or a lot of people that was with a baby daddy or something and really didn't like them. And and how can you make your son be the type of man that you want to be, but you ain't even with the man you wanted to be with, or
Right.
you're not, and you don't even like the man that you want to be with, that you are with. So it's so many kind of things with that, because you say, why are we with certain people?
Right.
And then it comes, okay, oh, I was with this man because he talked good. I was with this man because he, had a nice car, or whatever, whatever. But I don't think the character we was really chasing, what we think we love, the character of a man or this and that. Or we don't want men to actually be men. We trying to change men into something, a fairy tale, what we thought they might be. We can read all these things, see the moms and everything before us, let a man be a man and men gonna act certain ways. But then we want to change them and make them something that we never seen before. We we want this hard man, but we want him to speak softly to us all the time. We want
Yeah.
this hard man, but this protector and all this, but then we want him to be able to touch us like a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like no, I'm just saying, like, a woman would want something. It's like the man said a long time, a unicorn type man. They want a man that they ain't never seen before. They want a man with that's hard but sensitive, this but romantic. I mean, they want all this stuff out of man that they ain't never got before.
So you're saying we want a figment of our imagination.
Right. We want, a lot of women want something they ain't never had and never seen. Like, a lot of women was raised in two-parent households and never seen they man like their daddy like this, but they want another man to be two times better than their dad. Talk better than better than he seen him do their mama. And they want all this into them. And they be like, and now we getting women saying, if I can't have all that, I don't want that.
Wow.
If I can't have exactly what I want in a man, I don't want nothing. Why would I deal with a man like this here, like that there? I don't want this. I thought this supposed to be a fairy tale. I thought all this supposed to been easy. I thought life was easy. I thought dealing with, we can look and we can see how hard, our parents' relationship was, and everybody's relationship was before us. And they say, oh, you got to work it, you got to do this, you got to do that. But then we have mothers that intentionally sometimes go out and they all about themselves and not the family. Like they'll say, "Oh, I'm doing this because this benefit me, 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 me. I got 30 things in a week that benefit me. What? How much stuff I do to benefit my family? How many? How many times I do something that just benefit my man, my child, and I'm not worried about the outside world? How many times did I stay in the house, just want to be with my family that I made, and all this? Then running out there want to be with the fake family, the people that, what I'm saying. If all else fails, and you say, oh, can I come stay with you? I don't have no them like, well, baby, don't you got a man? I lost them hanging with you. Well, I'm sorry. I ain't make that mistake. I still got mine. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people got to realize we can be out there and we can say type of stuff that we want in a relationship, but do we really want this? A lot of women, they run around and they say, oh, I want this, oh, I want this. And then they would, because you get a woman in and say she exercise a lot and this and that, and she keep herself up now and you wonder why she ain't got no man. Sometimes it be because she's into self and not into family. Is not into it, everything. And then sometimes this conflicts a woman. And this what makes them mad and not know because, even as I heard about, Christian women, their object to be a Christian woman is to have a husband, to be, a helpmate and all that. And when you're not, and when you got a certain kind of job and you're not living up to it or trying to live up to it or not even trying to be what you say that you want to be, then this is contradicting what you're putting out in the world. A lot of women are putting out in the world that, oh, I'm this great woman. I deserve so much. And then you say, well, who is giving you the praise? Only yourself? Or are you being good to somebody where they can give you praise or they can run around and say, yeah, my baby, oh man, I don't know what I do without her. You know what I'm saying? Like, the child. Oh, the reason the child make a straight ass do. Oh Lord, my mama stay on my tail. I don't get this, 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 this. So a lot of women are putting themselves up here like, being the superwoman and this and that. But the only person can call her a superwoman is her.
I
So,
feel
sometimes I think even men, sometimes you get women that talk so negative about men and they say, oh yeah, these men ain't this, these men ain't this. And then you sit up and say, well, how many men you been through? How many relationships did you locked in with and try to stick with that you feel like no man is not nothing? You can't even give, what I'm saying, no man, no kind of uh
accolades on anything.
I
You
mean,
know,
every
you
time
know,
you watch a man, go ahead.
you know what that runs into. It runs into us being bitter. When you be hurt by something, you feel like anything that's close to that, it will all be the same outcome. Especially when you're hurting your emotions. And even like sometimes I've seen women take it out on their sons. Just say if they're not with the child's father. And then they'll tell the son, you just like your daddy, you know this and this. And then the son already know what mom be saying about my daddy. And so now you telling me I'm just like my daddy. So you're tearing me down like you're saying about my dad because I've heard you talk about daddy, and daddy ain't this and that. So it may make the son feel some type of way. But I would never forget an instance where a female parent, I don't know if she has a single home or if the man is there, where I, from way it acted out,
Yeah.
picked her son up from school. I guess he got in some type of little altercation. And in front of all the students, this lady yelled out to him that she was tired of coming to the school to get him and that she should have swallowed him.
Ooh. And that goes
In
back.
front of all these children. Don't you know this son walked away from her? She left him. He walked
Yeah.
away. That probably
But
killed
that's
that man.
that's what I'm saying about, raising boys that, to men that you wouldn't date, because when you flip that over and you think about it, and that's just how I started off the whole conversation. Okay, why would you have a man in your house and all that you don't like, you don't care for, and you wouldn't date?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying in the whole thing. If you can't stand this man, why did you ever get with him? What made you like him? And did you like him for any of the right reasons at all?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So now you got to look back and say, well, you never really liked him then. You know what I'm
You
saying?
probably didn't even get to know him. Most women don't get to know you before they know your last name. They don't know nothing about you. We get into these exciting hot flings. You get caught up, you get the baby, or whatever you catch or get. People are not thinking these days. We have such fleshly desires to be fulfilled, and it be a selfish thought upon ourselves, and we're not thinking about the consequences of whatever actions we're about to perform.
And I think what that comes with is we all want this instant gratification. We always want to get with somebody and this person gonna satisfy our every need. And when
Everything
they
that I
don't,
want right now.
you throw them to the side and you start looking for the new. It's just like a say a child that you see that he don't, when he bring a toy outside, he just can't bring out one. He bring out one, then he go get another. He bring out there, and next thing you know, he got 7, 8 toys outside, and he's trying to play with all of them, and he's not satisfied with none because every one of them only catches his attention for so long, and then he moves to the next toy. So sometimes we get into to situations that we look in relationship like toys, and we moving to the next one, looking for this magical. It's like playing the lottery every day.
Yep.
You
Taking a
it
chance.
got no risk, but it's high. It is a super high reward. But that's how we looking at relationships, like like I'm gonna find the one for me one day, and then when we don't find it, then we mad at everybody but ourselves for trying to forcefully, make something work that didn't pose to work, make stuff fit that didn't pose to fit.
But listen, a lot of things when we move in those senses, I feel like it's a coping mechanism. We haven't subconsciously gotten things together within ourselves. Like we try to avoid any discomfort, loneliness, or you're super. I'm used to being the stardom and the star of the show, or dating anybody my heart desire, or even if I just sexually feel like I want to give it up or do this, that I can do that. So it's like we have a coping mechanism. We're coping things that our eyes desire to do or to be a part of, but we're not thinking about the real outcome or the domain of it. Like what problems will I sustain for doing this thing? Or how can I move different to show better example for my son or for my daughter? A lot of times we teach our daughters how to run game on men, and we teach our sons how women may run game on them. So you playing the table and putting them out here with how you felt or what you went through in life, and don't even know if these same children will face the same facts that you did.
This gon' this gonna be funny right here because I feel like uh it didn't happen, with my mom or dad, but I felt like knowing too much of the game or knowing too much of what goes out here because when I came up, it was the Too Short era, it was the Luke, the dancing and everybody, this and that. So it was a wild era. You know what I'm saying? That's when the Freaknik started and all this old kind of stuff. So I feel like when you get out there, and I feel like if you're not if you get out there too quick and you learn too much, I feel like it hinders you. Or if you done bad too quick, I think it hinders you from being a attribute to the next relationship because you always got in the back of your mind trust issues and other kind of baggage that you don't even realize is baggage because you just feel like you learned something. You know what I'm saying? It's just like any creature out there in the wilderness, and you get attacked by a predator one time and you get away. After that, you spooked.
Mhm.
You cannot never be regular again because now you always looking and saying it's a real bad one out here. You know what I'm saying? It's like a woman that goes through like abuse from a man. Like she can't never just look at men and say, nah, he wouldn't do nothing like that because she was with a man that said he loved her and he'd do anything for her and all that. And then once he put his hands on her, she like, this was a dude that he checked all the boxes at first. And then as we went on, it got worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and then a man can be the same way. He can be like, man, when I first got with my woman, man, I thought she was like this here and like this here. Now I look around and I don't even know who she is. You know what I'm saying? She tell me this, and then it never comes true. I mean, it's like being out here and having too many friends. Sometimes when you have too many friends, it make you feel like you have none because you have so many, and then you think they're your friends, and you seeing what they gonna do and this and that when you get hard times or you really need them or you call them at 12:01 and you realize they like no, you need to holler at somebody else. So it's like women are trying to make men be the long time boyfriend a week or two into a relationship. So they got men confused. Soon as women meet men, they're already asking them to pay bills, to what you gonna do for me, what am I benefiting from even messing with you or whatever. So men are confused like, do this woman really like me? Or like I said, they've been ran game on some so many times that they want to be the first person to win that. So now a woman is looking to win over the man sometimes, and she's putting so much extra on the man that he just see it as game. If a man know too much and he like, damn, she come out here so first. We had a 5 minute conversation. She already talking about her bills. She already talking about, being married, or if you ain't ready for this, or you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, she don't even know you. She don't
Right.
even know if you want to know her, or you will be a good fit for her. But she's already add you into certain aspects. And I think, um, you know, I think a son sitting beside his mama and looking at her and how she treat men is really killing it for young brothers coming out here in the world after they seeing how they mama, call one dude, he stop by the house, give some money, see another dude, pull up. This, see, you got to think about it. Your son is in that household watching your every move.
Mm-hmm.
He's watching what you doing. He's watching how you treat his daddy, how you treat the next man, how you try to talk to this person, how you talk to that man is actually watching you. I mean, the boy. You know what I'm saying? He's watching
Right.
everything you, and when he sees how you treat his daddy like this, and then the mailman come by and you like, hey, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
or see you go to work and you talk to your boss and you're like, oh, but the man that you lay down and have sex with and this and that, you talk to him like you don't even like him. He like,
Mm-hmm.
you have so much love for all these dudes that you just run into. But the one that get the worst end of everything is your own man.
Right.
And if a son of a child just watching it, this is hurtful to know that your mama can act like this with one man and he's sitting there watching you all day. He watch you on the phone, talk to your girlfriend. Man, he dick ain't shit. But man, I'm sick of him. I ain't thinking with him no more. That your child in the other room watching, listen to this.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
in the sometimes when you ride down the street, you in the car talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is real telling, and you know, I think men, boys that's trying to raise and become men, and they watching how everybody seemingly against men. You go to court. I mean, it's a Mississippi against you. It don't say the girl against you or this and that. It's a Mississippi. When you go to court, child support, it make it seem like it's the whole state against you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not like it's a fair process. You know what I'm saying? Everybody against you. And everything you go, men have to wake up and feel like everybody is against me. When your child look at his mama against his daddy, he look at his daddy, going in the world and all that, he feel like everything is against a man. So then you got little boys out here that want to be women
Terrible.
because they see how hard a man's life is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's just terrible how we look at it and how men, like they say, if a man work too much, woman ain't gonna like him. If he work too less, woman ain't gonna like him. You know what I'm saying? He got to have the perfect work schedule, the perfect time to get off and spend a little time with you and this and that for the woman to feel like they're together. He have to have this perfect stuff going on because think about it. The biggest issue in a lot of relationships is daddy issues.
Mm-hmm.
Been with daddy issues. Every time I go, let me tell you something. Every time I talk to a woman and she have like real kind of things, strong things to get men. I'm like, do you and your daddy get along? She, well, what daddy? Or something, you'd be like, whoa, okay, I get you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women have daddy issues that won't do certain things and don't do certain things. They have daddy issues. So a lot of this stuff that's between, women not having children that they kind of like on that because they didn't like their baby daddy, or they didn't fall in love or like with them before they had sex with that. Like you say, it might have been a little more lust or something else, but it wasn't what makes people together and stay together. Sometimes you got to have a kind of bond that you can only get through by naturally, getting together and starting to like each other. And that's the problem. A lot of people get with each other, and the worst part about it, they don't even like each other.
Yeah.
They dealing with each other. And when you got two people that just dealing with each other and it seems like they really don't like each other, that's a bad combination. So
It's terrible.
let's jump in a couple of these topics,
Okay.
and hopefully get something else now. Come on with it.
Okay, so we're talking about you're raising boys to be men that you wouldn't date, right? So the first
Right.
thing we are talking about, because dealing with an ex-partner drama, custody schedules, and an instant family can be difficult. An instant family. Elaborate on that part.
Okay. So when I say instant family, it's like a, a stepdaddy coming into a family,
Oh,
and 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 an instant family is like it's already there. It's already there. She already got the kids. She already got this, got that, and you trying to figure out. See, back in the day, I'm gonna tell you, back in the day when relationships was starting off back in the day, women gave men a level of authority when they came into the household. Okay,
yeah.
you got it. Boom. You could back then you could have a certain kind of command over a household. I have dated women with 4, 5 kids, this and that, and as soon as I came in the household, it was like what we need to do. And I was able to tell the kids, hey, clean up your room, do this, whoop de whoop, whoop de whoop. Oh, don't spend your money like this. Even though she was getting the stamps, I was like, no, you going to the grocery store, stacking up all your stuff in one week. No, you get how much a month? Okay, so you need to spend only this week. So I came in like, hey, you need to only spend $100 a week on grocery. And then instead of buying this grocery here that you buy a couple of things and then you out, you need to spend this money on this, the good stuff, boom, boom, boom. Because like bread and all that, you can go to the store and back in the day, pay your 75 cents, your dollar, get you a bread. These was luxuries that, you need to keep meat in the refrigerator and stuff that, what I'm saying, like they used to say, stick to the bone. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
buy that stuff first and put it in there, and you can always get the little, cracker, the little bull crap whenever you want mustard, whatever. You can come up on that. You know what I'm saying? But you get the meat and potatoes first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times that instant family running into an instant family nowadays is very hard because of social media and a lot of stuff that goes on, every day, this and that, you know. What's up, Latasha? Up in his house?
Hey, Tasha, how are
Yeah,
you today?
yeah,
Exactly.
okay. And and an instant family is so hard because I'm gonna tell you what made it hard. I'm gonna tell you what it made it harder. I remember when I remember women and they could be just being protective or whatever. I remember when women used to speak out. I can't stand a woman that put a man over her children. So you had start having women that didn't have men start trying to put this kind of fear up in women that had men that you shouldn't let a man in your life and start telling you and your children, what to do or how to carry on or whatever. So then you take out a man that think like me from the door, like a man that come in and he wanna put order. Men, want to put structure and order around stuff. Who gonna take out the gas? Who gonna mow? Who gonna wash the dishes? I had it. You know, every day. What child was gonna wash the dishes? Today and all this old type of stuff. Man, like order. You know what I'm saying? A woman might come in there. Somebody better wash them damn. I had what's my name? And it's your turn to wash dishes. Go on in there. Come on. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
like, when you got a man that wants structure, and then you got a woman that she's coming in and she don't want no more structure. You don't want no man telling what to do. This is, it's starting to get us against them, and I want to run this how I want to run it. I pay my own bills, and then I remember what men used to say way back in the day. I pay the cost to be the boss, and I think that's the worst line that men ever used to say, because I feel like even if even if you wasn't the main breadwinner, you should have the main vision. A man
Right.
should have a vision on how this should go, how this should run, and this and that. Because let me tell you something, and this might sound bad. When a woman get money, all she thinking about is cars, clothes, and pedicures, manicures, and massages and stuff like that. She don't think about what's happening 10 years on down the line. We got to stop this, stop that to do this. Just like when I came on and I told you, if two people making good money, and if one person was to save their money for 6 years, then both of y'all could do so much better, buying a house and doing all this stuff. People got to become a team. You know what I'm saying? And it's like anything. When somebody ain't being a team player no more and they start being about me, then they lose focus and they start saying, fuck this team stuff. I don't care nothing about team stuff. I can do this on my own. And then you get women when they make enough money, they say, what I need a team for? I can do this on my own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people don't realize when they go on down the line, you know, it's many basketball, football players now that made good money through their lives. But because they didn't have a structure or how to play the long game with their money, they went broke. They made very bad choices here and there, and they paid the price.
Yeah.
And I think now um, a lot of people are paying the price of thinking a certain kind of way, thinking, I don't need this, I don't need that. And then if you do without it so long and then you feel like, okay, I got it, I got it, I got it. About when you really want it back, when you really want to deal with a man again, you ain't gonna know how to.
Right.
You did without it so long that you know what I'm saying? It's like a woman that's go without sex for 3 years and she meet a dude and you know, about 3, 4 months, he like, ooh, what's going on? And she like, ugh, is you up? Something wrong with you? You can't not keep yourself contained or this and that. And she don't understand. Once you done practice something, it's like you being a monk or a nun. Once you done practice something so long, and this person don't have no same practice in their head as you, they can't do what you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I get a lot of partners, even my Muslim friend. When I go on fast and I fast for 10 or 15 days, even my Muslim partner, they invented fasting. They be like, nah, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? They do that 24 hours, 48 hours, 3 days at the most. They don't do long fasts and stuff like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you don't ever try nothing different, you won't know. So what I'm trying to say is when this man come in your life and he's sexually attracted to you and all that, and he's trying to rub or this is his nature. You know what I'm saying? He naturally just trying to do something, and then you like, no, gone, blah 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 blah. And he like, damn, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times we can put ourselves in certain situations that it's hard for us to climb back out of. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah. I
I
see
agree.
I see women right now brag about how they ain't been with no man and they don't care nothing about no man and this and that. And that stuff becomes enlarged in their head and they start talking down on men all the time and all that type of stuff. And they don't even realize even the men that might have liked them or might have would have took a chance or hey, whatever, they you give off a certain kind of energy when you act a certain way for so long. I'm just telling the truth. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. You have women sometimes, and I know this might come off a lot of controversial. They might wear 2, 3 colors in their head and all kind of stuff because they like I can do whatever I want to do, and I can. Yeah. But a man that's a doctor or lawyer or something, he gonna look at that, and that's like a red flag. It's like a red flag. He like, whoa, she got some issues a certain kind of way when you feel like you got to start, cutting off everything, painting out, painting your colors, this and that. You got packs of makeup on. A man looking at it like what she had and what she's scared of and what done hurt her so bad that she's acting like this. It's just like when you see um women won't acknowledge this. It's like when you see a woman with a bunch of tattoos on her or something. You don't just look and say, You look and say, she in a gang, biker gang. No, I'm just telling you the truth. When you see a woman, she got tattoo all down, and you be like, she been in jail before or something. You be, it's the same thing what women used to do to men when they used to see men way back in the day. When men had tattoos, a certain tattoo, you either thought he was in the Navy, Army, or he was got out of jail or been to jail or something like this. When you got certain tattoos, especially when you see them tattoos that look ugly, they're like they hand, you be like, oh yeah, they have been locked up. Ain't no tattoo artist out here giving that kind of tattoo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
so you just got to keep it real. When the joke got a cross and look like the cross going sideways, like nah, or the cross big at the bottom, little at the top. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You be like, when I see a tattoo on a woman's leg and you can't understand it and it look big or it look just it's out of whack and you don't know what it is, you be like, she might have been to jail. And she probably gonna get a cover up. So then when you see a big tattoo on her, you like, she done covered up some gang banging stuff or something that was on her
Oh
that she don't
wow.
want. No, I'm just keeping it real. You see
I
women with
understand.
sleeves and all kind of stuff on there. That's a flag sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like the regular man gonna see that. Think about it. Most doctors, lawyers, and all that, you don't see them with tattoos all up and down their neck, face, and all that. You know what I'm saying? But as a dude, when you see a dude with a tattoo across his face, just ask him, has he been to jail? 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
yeah, he been there. And they're just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times, a lot of people, we raise boys and we don't raise them how we feel like they should be raised. We raise them and we don't even like the product that we putting out there. You don't supposed to look at your son and say, I wouldn't date a man like that. You should be able to look at your son and say, yes, I put out a good product out here. Any man, any woman would be glad to have my son as her man. You know what I'm
Agree.
saying? When your son bring a woman home, you should be like, I know she a good woman because I raised him good, and I'm sure he picked out, a good woman. That's why sometimes if a woman raise a man and she think he done made a real bad choice, he come home, he like, I know you didn't. I know you didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and because I think that the worst thing, what a lot of women don't realize, a lot of men, if they mama don't do it, they wouldn't really want their woman to do it. So say if they mama don't smoke cigarettes or smoke weed, this and that, they really wouldn't want they woman doing it. It's just we in a society now that birds of a feather,
Flock
get together.
together.
You know what I'm saying? Because um, a lot of men are are kind of hesitant, because like that's why a lot of women and men once they get out of a relationship, and sometimes they get in a new relationship, and they mess around and get married, then 3, 4 months, 5 months in, because sometimes when you in a bad position for so long and you get into another position and somebody is treating you so damn good, you're like, what the fuck was I doing the last 7, 8 years or whatever I was with the last? But what did I been doing that now I found somebody that does everything that I kind of want them to do? So sometimes women, and that's what keep people in and out of relationships. Sometimes I say this. Sometimes people get with somebody that was so good to them that they always looking for that same kind of loving, and they can't never find it. And sometimes that real young loving thing, and they don't even realize that you might never find that same kind of love again. That same dude that loved you to death at 17, 18, that was walking with you, walking to your house, knocking on your window, and all that old type of stuff. walking you home after school and all that. People don't realize how in love sometimes men are at that time. And as it go on, how sometimes women tear up them kind of love things, like the man might have loved doing this, and then say he get with a new woman that don't like doing this. You know what I'm saying? So he get out of doing that. Everything he used to
Right.
love to doing, talking, walking, and having a good time, just being around his woman all the time. He might get with the next woman. She don't want to be around him. She'd rather be around her, her friends, her family, or whoever else, and don't want to be around. Now he didn't get to the point that he ain't used to being around a woman like that no more.
Right.
So
Right.
it's kind of, it's a lot of stuff that gets stuck. You know what I'm saying? That we don't know what be going on sometimes. But we're gonna get into the next one too.
Okay.
Come on.
So the second relates to a popular inten- internet and relationship philosophy where mothers explicitly raise their sons with the emotional maturity, respect, and what?
Go
And
ahead.
traits they wish they had found in the man they chose to date or married in the past. So that's something of what you were just talking about. You're trying to live out something that probably made you feel good.
Right. It's just like when I tell people try not to get your kids hooked to drinks, candy and stuff like that, because once you taste candy, you cannot untaste it. You want that sugary, that stuff tastes so good, but it's so bad for you. And we forget about that part of it. We so busy trying to give our children what they like, we don't realize how bad it is for them. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
forget about that part. We're like, oh yeah, we sit up there and we realize, okay, how we gain weight, how we did this, and we do it to our children. We pump them up, and then when they get bloated, hook the candy, hook to this, hook to that, they will, I don't know what happened. Yes, you happen. You happen to them. See, because they young and they running around all the time and all that, as soon as they slow down, they gonna blow up. You feel what I'm saying? As soon as they slow down from doing all what they doing, they gonna blow up and gain this weight and this and that. And we're like, well, what happened? No, you happened. And you instill this into them, and you don't realize what you did over time. See, you know, like they say, you will understand by and by. Sometimes you don't know it early, but later on down the road, if you keep on feeding this type of energy, this type of what's name into a child, no discipline, no this, no that, as they get older and you haven't fed this into them, and when you try to curve it then, because they say, don't wait till a child get 13, 14, then start trying to raise them. You got to raise them young on up. So that's the problem. Sometimes they'll never come back if you didn't raise them early. See, sometimes you can raise them early and you can lose them, but then they can come back. You feel what I'm saying? Because you remember what they always say, the foundation was built good. So they can always come back to a good foundation.
Yes,
But if you ain't
that's
put in the
true.
right foundation, then you trip. Yeah. And Joe was just how they say, just trying to keep it real. All right, come on.
So why some women with or without children of their own hesitates to date a man who already have kids, while some men actively seek out single mothers? I
Mm-mm.
don't know. I think, that day of you know, women wanting men probably that doesn't have children. Sometimes that may come with, I don't want the drama of your baby mom. And then vice versa with men, they're seeking single mothers, because maybe if they don't have children, they can play a role of feeling like a father to those children. And then also some men just have it in them to like be almost like a mentor style, to have a care for children and want to see them do good or give them great advice on life, and being a part, because most times when you get into these relationships where the men are with the single mothers, right? You be a part of these children life and you grow with them. Then when the relationship in your relationship ends with the children. And I don't think
Right.
that that's fair, because you have grown a whole relationship. But people feel like if we don't work out, you don't work out with my family, and I just don't think that that's fair.
Can I tell you something? Only person that gonna be around forever when it come into them type of what's name is usually especially if you just in there for a little while, like say you being a stepdaddy for 1 year or 2 years or something like that. You can't expect that you to be in the life at the child 3 or 4, and you can't expect to thinking you gonna be in the life when you break up with that mama when he 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nah, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? That's for the father, because the father is there. We forget about the father. If he's locked up there, out, whatever he's doing, he's around. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? If he's not, gone, he's around. So I feel like um, that's human nature, man, because people move, people change their numbers, they block you on social media and all kind of stuff. So it's just it's just life now. When people get tired of somebody, whoever it was, they block them and they, move. You listen to women say it all the time. Oh, I don't nothing. I block, I delete and block everybody. I block my family. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't have, the moral thing, the conscience to really care about people like that, you don't care about, who you step on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We into this new thing that a lot of people are raw. A lot of people will step on whoever. Don't care.
Yeah.
And we got to understand that it's new, but this is how life is being done now. We can make it seem, we can play a role and try to make it seem like, oh no, I would never do this. Maybe you wouldn't, but that don't mean the next person wouldn't do it.
Mm.
So we can maybe what we wouldn't do and all that, but it's not real life, you know.
It is what it is.
Okay.
So many women find that merging households and navigating another person's parenting style is a significant logistic and emotional challenge. Logistic and emotional challenge. I found a little tongue twist then.
What you think about that?
Well, that's what we're having now. We're having people that are doing the Brady Bunch. You come with your six, and I'm coming with my six, and we're gonna have a 14
Yeah, but
family home.
the problem with that, is like I said, the parenting styles.
Yeah.
So
Like you can
you
like I've seen it. I've seen it. You have these two families combined to one. One of the
uh-huh.
family cook for their children. The other family was a dashboard diner. Like they eat in the car, they go out to eat every day. But this other side, they prepare meals. So it is what it is. And that'll be one of the problems on lifestyle, like curfews and things. You're gonna see it. And that's gonna let you know if this blended family could actually work.
Because I'm kind of old school, and I think if I had just saying like, you know, yeah, getting with somebody, and to me, it's like a turn off to me for a person to be talking about eating out every day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not my style. You know what I'm saying? I cook at home every day. You know what I'm saying? I cook uh, breakfast, lunch, dinner, but I don't eat that many times a day. But I cook all my meals. You feel what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
know exactly put in my meals and put in my body every day. So when you got somebody who don't mind eating out every day, this and that, we don't realize. See, I used to see long time ago. I worked at a fast food place, and that broke me up from eating out. You know what I'm saying? Because we can feel like these people are good people, but I done seen people you know, throw drop, get mad at somebody and drive through whatever, drop food on the floor, pick it up, dust it off, put it back on there, all kind of stuff, just crazy stuff I done seen happen because, somebody was talking crazy to them. I done seen people spitting people food, then put them extra cheese on it and steam
Are
it so
you
it all
serious?
went.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, don't say that.
I
That's
done
terrible.
seen it. Listen, I done seen it and I was named and it broke me. It broke me from eating out. It broke me from wanting to eat out. Cause
That's
see, like
terrible.
if I eat out and I'm with somebody and you talk to them crazy, don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm on. I forgot I had some extra stuff at the house that I
Right.
needed. Nah, I'm not. I done lost my appetite. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody with me acting great, man, I done seen it happen. Everybody would get charged for that person that's acting a fool with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't like it. I don't even if I don't like my food or whatever, it's better. It's something if it's undercooked or something like that, or overcooked or something, something simple. It'd be like, oh, but if you like this shit nasty, this man, it's better get your money back and haul ass. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Than to be, out there and like I said, when you've been around it and you done seen it, it's kind of hard to go out there and eat it every day. And you see, because people don't realize. You remember when they closed that Burger King down on Highway 80? They a long time ago. It was a Burger King on Highway 80, close to Ellis up there. They closed
mm-hmm.
that down because somebody was jaculating in the food, in the mayonnaise. Yeah, and it never was opened back up no more. I'm telling you. Now they got one on the what I think there's a Burger King by the Dairy Queen down there, but that was 20 years after that. But it used to be on Highway 80. It used to be on Highway 80 on the same side as Wendy's going down towards that
Yeah.
fire zone. Is that right? Firestone. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it's crazy. Come on with it.
That just made me shiver inside.
I
For
done seen
mothers,
it.
the intentions behind raising the men they wouldn't date is often a deliberate attempt to break generational cycles. For
Mm.
mothers, the intention behind raising the man they wouldn't date is often deliberate attempt to break generational cycles.
All
Generational
right, now
cycles of what? Okay,
speaking.
By consciously teaching their sons skills like communication, accountability, and emotional availability, these mothers aim to ensure their children grow up to be better partners. Okay.
So I think what they saying sometimes is the man that they used to date was so bad that they were like, you know what? I don't want him around my children. I don't want, that's how they reason they break it off sometimes. They try to teach their child a whole different way to say, I'm gonna make you better, a better person than me. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm gonna get you away from that where you'll date somebody better or whatever. And sometimes uh just by a child seeing a normal relationship, a better relationship, it will have them get a chance to see something different. And like I said, if you bring chaos around a child, he gonna know great chaos. It's a lot of children that know, the dad and mama screaming at each other, hollering, mad because not enough money for this, not enough money for that. And I feel like a lot of times we don't even realize that um, we are infecting our children with a lot of energy, bad energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I say this. Say you got a dog that's quiet, that don't bark much. But if you put them out there with a dog that bark all the time, your dog might start barking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he feeling like this is
So
the thing I'm supposed to be doing.
right, right. And then they might learn by barking like, okay, the older dog teaching them that's a stranger. Stranger danger. Bark, 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 bark. And now I know, okay, that's what master want us to do, to bark at people. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like what, so you have to train your dog, and sometimes it's just instilled in certain dogs. Like that's why I always say men are just like dogs. It's a bunch of, you might inherently have certain natures, but everybody is different. You got the lazy dogs that don't like moving around. You got German shepherds that can't be still. You know what I'm saying? They run around all day. They back. You ever seen a fat German shepherd? No, not really. You know what I'm saying? He got to be old with a broke leg, but you ain't gonna see too many fat German shepherds. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got these bullies. You got all these kind of different dogs, and they got different mentalities. You know what I'm saying? They got different ways they look at the world. They got different ways that they act and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, people don't realize that, but every man, when women try to put men together, saying what's the name, you know, men often say some men got short man syndrome because they short, and when they short, they act a certain way. You got men that's tall that act a certain way. You got men that's buff that act a certain way. You got men that's fat that act a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You got so many different men that act so different. You know, one might be lazy, one might be active, one might can't be still, one can't sit down. One stay sitting down. I mean, you got so many. You know what I'm saying? And we be trying to put people in the same shoes that obviously sometimes don't work. And that's the same thing. Like I remember uh, buying a dog, and they'll tell you got to buy a certain kind of dog because if you buy this dog, you got to walk this dog twice a day.
Hmm.
Up and down the street twice a day. Because if you don't, this dog gonna get impatient, this and that, blah blah blah. Need exercise, blah blah blah. Gonna irritate you, gonna start tearing up stuff, all kind of stuff because it ain't getting enough exercise. And it's crazy to feel like you got a dog in your house that's tearing up everything because it ain't getting no exercise. Then you got another dog that be in your house, don't want to tell him nothing because he's just a house dog. He just lazy, don't want to do all that. He ain't into all that. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
have to buy. That's why people buy a dog for what kind of person they are.
Yeah.
All right, come on with it.
So we're still talking about emotional availability. These mothers aim to ensure their children grow up to be better partners about protecting children from the same pitfalls the mother experienced in her own romantic life.
Mm.
Yeah. I can agree. Like some areas that were probably bad in your relationship as a mother, you wouldn't want it to be an effective thing that your child, you know, go through. Yeah.
Agree with James said.
Mr. Bunsman said that be people with corn on their feet from where other people for wearing other people's shoes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, but you know, yeah, I think you remember when I told you some people get together and they be with a person, they see how they started off was, and they get paranoid because they started changing over the time, being a worse and worse person than they started off with. See, sometimes
Mhm.
you got the opposite. You got a person that started out bad and they get better and better over time. Then you got other people that started off good and they get worse and worse over time. And
Mhm.
sometimes it can be, things you're doing, things that you not realizing you're doing. It could be alcohol, drugs. It could be anything that could be swaying a person's mind. People you hanging out with, new friends, anything that could have you either elevating to being a better person or being a worse person.
Right.
So sometimes we don't even understand just that part of it. Sometimes people just don't mess around and become a better person sometimes.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So some parents demand respect, responsibilities, and faithfulness from a man dating their daughter, but don't require the same from their sons. So you tell these
Mhm.
girls, you don't have no man that don't give you responsibility or respect you or being faithful to you. You don't need him. But you won't tell your sons this thing, You don't put this requirement on boys, I guess because you're supposed to feel like boys can just handle themselves. They don't need love too. Anything on that?
Um, I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. I'm gonna think of something. Read what James is.
James said hurt teachers hurt just in different forms, replaced hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
just
think
just coping.
that's a very good statement because sometimes people don't realize how much hurt they got and how much they are expressing it outward, and you don't even know that they hurting so bad. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And like I said, once you get hurt so bad, it's hard to recover. Like people say about baggage, you got people that go 20, 30 years thinking about somebody who did them wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's some people that, mama, daddy died 20, 30 years ago. And they still think about it like it was yesterday. And and what could have been done different or better or all that. But you know, we are taught that God don't make mistakes. but we always look back and say, I think that was a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's easy to say certain things, but you know, I don't think we really, you know, want certain things to happen in our life.
Right. Okay, he's just a boy. That's how men are. Excuses today can become relationship problems tomorrow. So you just saying, "Oh, he's just a boy." Right. Oh, that's how men are. You know, you don't know, but we can't always teach the boys on being a boy or the men on being a man. That's why I said early in the show, it takes a village. Expose them to other men, male figures, so they can try and help them become more boy and manly. Because if you've noticed, well, I've noticed in several households, like there is this little boy. He's probably age gap between his siblings, maybe by 5 years or 10 years between two sisters. But this young man probably is about 12 and he can twerk just like his sisters because your sisters twerk all the time. So you 12 and you twerking. Where is the male figure to say, little boy, don't do that? Boys don't do that. So he said, bro, God did rest on Sunday. So a few people fall through.
That's a good one. Now.
That was a good one.
But I think about that, just bit, you know, I think what it is say we watch a boy, you know, jump up and down in the bed or act a certain kind of way, in a certain kind of way. We like, oh, he's being a boy. Sometimes being a boy, right, fine. But sometimes you got to let the boy know, uh-uh.
Don't do that.
Or, yeah, you can jump in it, now make it up. So what you got to realize, you got to show him that every action have a reaction. When he go out and play with his toys, oh, you gonna be the one that put them all back up. So now he know I can be a boy, but then I'm be made to be a man and clean up behind myself, right behind it. And that's the thing that we not teaching our kids. We letting them go and mess up, then we try to clean up behind. You know what I'm saying? In life, it don't work like that. If your child mess up, you ain't gonna go try to do his time.
Right.
If he get, you gonna say, I don't know how my son got in that kind of trouble. You ain't gonna try to do his time. So what you got to do is challenge yourself early to lead him the right way, so he won't make that what's name. Because my whole thing right now that I tell every young man that I'm around, you can do 1,000 things right, and you can do one thing wrong, and it'll change the rest of your life. So you got to keep them high on that type of stuff. Yep.
Agree. He said if he's 12 and twerking and shaking, he's gonna be the rainbow. Twirling and shaking. Yeah, that's
Going
what
to
I'm
the
saying.
rain. Yeah.
He's going to the
And,
rainbow. He's going to the
and
rainbow.
yeah. And what you got to realize, and that's what I realized with a lot of stuff like that too. People don't realize with me, if I'm around a child, a boy, or whatever, and if I see him doing some stuff that ain't right, you know what I'm saying? Women don't look at it like that. Oh, he's playing, he's having fun, leave him alone. No, when he start playing like a little girl or he start doing something out the way, you got to stop that action right then. Nope, stop that.
Yep.
Around there play with the boys instead of playing with the girls or something like that. If he got folk girls that sisters or whatever, you still need to take him out so he can go play with some boys instead of just playing with sisters or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let the girls play with the girls. Let the boys play with the boys. You know what I'm saying? Once you start that mixture, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Come on with it.
Okay, some are not teaching their sons to lead his own life, and he shouldn't be looking for a sponsor to carry the load. So you're not teaching the son on how to have and provide for himself only. Not you're not doing that, but then he's out here looking for a sponsor and probably someone older that can financially take care of him. See it all the time.
Yeah. And see what that is when you don't teach a child, a son, how to become a man, he stays a boy. He stays under his mama. He stays where he don't elevate and see himself above. See, one thing about it, and I tell people all the time, this and that. Me myself, I seen a lot of soft men change the game. Um, and when I say that, is not taking a leadership role in a lot of things. When I see men attack other men, say, "Oh yeah, oh, should let the women lead and this and that," and I look at these men and I say, "What kind of men are these?" You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm not trying to shame or nothing like that. I feel like sometimes when we've been around the mama too long, or this and that, or we sit on the mama too long, or this and that, and you don't get out there and make your own way to do things, to make a move. If you say something and your mama say, "Nah, you should do it this way," you said, "No, mom, I, I done got it all figured out. I'm gonna do it like this." She said, "Nah, you gonna do it?" And you be like, "Okay, mom, I'll do it like this." I feel like you need to just throw yourself in the garbage can and come out with a new one of you, because your old self just ain't gonna make it out here in regular man type life. Because I think when everything around you revolves around a woman, I know a woman gonna be your downfall. And when I say that, I say emotionally, because when women get tied up around a woman so much, and um say she don't want to be with you no more. She don't want to be with you no more. Next thing you know, um, you crashing out. You trying to make her be with you.
Mm.
You trying to see when you so invest in a woman and not in a purpose. See the problem now. Men ain't being raised to have a purpose. Sometimes they being raised to be a slave. Oh, you get older. See, I've seen many mamas. You get older, get you a job, this and that. How many times you hear a mama telling their child to be an entrepreneur? You can have your own business. You can do this. You can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like when a mom is trying to limit to a man, I was listening to a man the other day. I think he had just got out of jail, tax, some stuff, but they call him Hellcat, um, Big Hellcat. I don't know what his name is, something like that. But
Mm.
he he was talking about how he bought so many houses and how he was making this much money. He was buying up the city and buying up this and buying up that. And I was sitting up there saying to myself, and he said when he went in jail, he had $160 million. Black dude. He said he had already did a trust fund and put it in his kid's name. And he said they can't touch it till they get 35. Because he said the reason he put 35 is because he want them to be able to learn the world and go through getting their own stuff before they get to a certain age so they can touch it. And I agree with that. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you let them touch stuff at
At
20,
a young
21,
age, that's how it be
they gonna
18 and
blow it.
21.
They gonna blow it. They don't know nothing about life. They gonna blow it. They gonna
Yep.
buy them car. They gonna do. They gonna blow it on something, and they ain't gonna have nothing by the time they make it to 35. But if you can
Mhm.
let something sit and let a man grow to that age and try to get something on his own, make himself a valuable person on his own
Yeah,
for a while, he will be something later on. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah. So 35, I believe, if you leaving a child something, 35, I believe,
That's a good
is
age.
the right
Pretty
to
much
give him.
responsible by that time.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of ladies, when you going out and I don't know if people gonna like that. When you give a lot of money to the church and all that and this and that, there's nothing wrong with taking that money, putting it in a fund for your children for later on and this and that. Um, because I think people don't realize I think people don't realize how hard it was for you and all that. And if you're not giving your children a pathway to make it out, what are you really teaching them? You know what I'm saying? You got to teach them early to be able to learn how to manage certain things. Like I told my child one time, she was like, "Oh, you supposed to help me?" And I said, "Hold on. If I wasn't here, my job is to make you a valuable person, be able to move and be able to move good. If I wasn't here, you would still be able to survive." You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So once you move like that, once you get to a certain age and your mind get a certain way, you can handle anything that's passed down to you. Anything
Yeah.
passed down to you, you can handle it because that didn't make you. You feel what I'm saying? You start
Yeah.
making yourself to a valuable person before this. You didn't just sit around try to wait till you 20. I know people that try to get, you know, I know ladies and other people that try to hurry up and get married and all kind of stuff. Got married just to get their inheritance and got
Yep.
divorced a couple years later. After they got their inheritance, people put it out there. Oh, you got to be married to get your inheritance. Shit, they got married to get their inheritance, and got divorced a year or two after. I done seen this,
Oh, wow.
and I hope they ain't watching when they'll be like, "Oh, okay, my bad."
Look, I know you didn't tell my business.
I told somebody business. They don't know it's their business.
Well, I'm just saying that's what they'll say. Like, I know you ain't trying to tell my business.
I didn't put no name on it.
Well,
Oh,
that's the good part. That's the good part. You
yeah.
don't name call. So they warned their daughters about men. Well, we did that. We did that already.
Huh?
We've done that.
Uh-uh.
Well, it's the same thing.
Hold on.
Okay, they warned their daughters about men while ignoring the same behaviors in their sons.
No.
You tell your daughter about the men not to deal with, but you created the son that your daughter is trying to date. Yeah, she's attracted to.
Yeah. 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 sometimes men can be our own worst enemy sometimes, in certain instincts. Read that.
Mr. James said, the church is the key to prisons, the most sinful place to be today.
Mm. And then one thing, now I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna tell you this, James. I feel like maybe for a man, we feel like this sometimes. But I'm gonna tell you, sometimes when it comes to to women, sometimes women need church just to keep them alive or well. I know so many people, if they didn't go to church, they probably wouldn't even be here because they might have would have gave on life for it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I look at church and I see people going to church knowing I know the devil probably be in them just why we have to go in here? Okay, but if they wasn't at church, they probably doing something they ain't had no business. Sometimes church have saved so many people out of their how you say carnal man and other kind of stuff. Um Church have saved a lot of people, but all I can say is church is real good here sometimes, but it's not great for everybody. I, I think I think every time I go to church, and most times it's doing a funeral or something, I think I always have a good um, um,
Good.
I always have a good type of experience at church when you go. I think when you go to a church every week, it might do something to you. Sometimes it might infect you a little bit sometimes. But I think some women need that because I feel like this gonna come out controversial. I think in a woman's head is very sinful sometimes. So I think sometimes women need somebody to follow because you gotta think about it. Why would they be in church so much? They need some guidance. They need somebody to tell them, walk them down from that ledge every week or something. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they gonna turn me back to the old me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think women go through a lot of more stress and a lot of more this and that because when it's all said and done, the woman, today's women, are not equipped mentally to deal with kids because a lot of them want to run the street, a lot of them want to do this and do that, and I think kids sometimes slow them down in the wrong type of way, and you see it, you watch it on the news, mama take kid to the club, have them outside in the car, mama, left kids in the car in the grocery store parking lot. You know, um, um, it's a lot of stuff that go on that moms have to deal with that daddies don't, and I think it breaks them because I feel like you know I think if mom was more disciplinary, it would be all right because her dad, if he was around his child that much, it'll be going down. It'll be some ass whoopings and some what's name. He'll be like, he gonna get them all the way right. His son gonna be around there, yes sir, and this and that because he ain't gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a woman,
Right.
she is like we was reading that other thing about the. See, I always remember that little passage in the Bible about sparing the rod or child or something. So
Bear the
it's
rod,
it's
spoil
something.
the child.
Yeah. James said, "Ain't no place safe these days but home," and I can understand that. Come on with it.
So God says he's in you. What is written can't be changed. God's word. Jesus destroyed all of them. Your feelings are called emotions. Women need church because the devil only speak through them. No, bro. Ain't no building going to save you and them kids. I know you know better. Come on.
But I said that. Listen. I said they got the devil in. We
Oh
said
my
the same
God.
thing on a little bit. They got a little bit of that devil in them. You know what I'm saying? So I believe they need church more than men because men don't need to go to church to to be led. Men don't want another man to be talking about leading like that. You know what I'm saying? Like most men can get that from a good daddy. I feel like I got that from my daddy, and the more people compare me, to my daddy is a, is a attribute that you say, okay, I am on the right track because my dad is still doing fine. He's still doing all right. And sometimes we just got to realize this world, sometimes you ain't gonna never figure it out how you feel. Like you just got to take your DNA, your blood, and run with it. And if you gonna have people that gonna like that, you gonna people that ain't gonna like that. People ain't gonna like you for being you. But if you be somebody else, then who are you now? And people got to realize if they get with you and they like you for being you, don't try to come in there and tell me to be somebody else. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem. A lot of people get in relationship with people and say, I don't like you like that. If you just did that, and that, you'll be perfect. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell somebody else, if you just do that, they be like, huh? I ain't changed from name, motherfucker.
Uh-huh.
So, it's something else now. All right, come on. Last but not least.
Who is teaching young men what healthy manhood looks like? We need the village to come in. Right now, the mothers, if it's a single family home, the mothers are. Unless
Well,
daddy's in their lives. That's the key point. Are men in their children's lives?
yeah. I think more these days they are. One thing I have really, realized about a lot of men and a lot of younger men that they do have that. They understand that it's a dad around. Um, I think, I think, I don't know if we making necessary better choices, or I think after you make a bad choice now, I think a lot of people are really trying to really straighten themselves out before they make another one. That's why you see a lot of women that might have one child, a lot of men that might have one child, be like, I ain't doing it no more. And then they end up not having no more kids because they be like, I ain't want to put myself in the same situation.
I
You
know,
know what I'm
right?
saying?
Hello.
But like Booster said, and a lot of people, if it get back to the old school where people can actually get together and be together, have kids together, all that stuff would work. But I just think um, some relationships are thriving while you have a lot of relationships that's falling apart because they built on shaky foundation, and you know, you have a lot of people 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Right.
Don't know which, don't know left or right, don't know up and down, don't know where they want
Know
to
how
be.
to put their
That-
shoes on the right feet.
Right. And not happy. You got to be happy, period, to be happy with somebody. And I think that's a lot of stuff people missing. People do a lot of stuff to make themselves happy. But if you're doing all this stuff to make yourself happy and you're not happy, then obviously you might be moving wrong on how you're trying to make yourself happy. So maybe you should cut out the stuff that you doing over here to that you always find yourself back in an unhappy place, and then start changing it with more positive, different stuff on the other side. You know what I'm saying? That'll make the life better. And I just think we have to instill that into the kids, into the young men, that they got to be more positive, more more I'm seeing more kids now at a very young age that I feel like it's going to be a better future someday. I think generation we got now, not this generation, might not be right on this generation. I think by the time you get down to the 10-year olds, I say about 11, 12 more years, we'll have a better generation out here. And I think all the people that's um I don't know. I think hopefully we get past a lot of racism and a lot of pointing fingers and stuff like that, and come back together as people, and not just, I'm blacker than black, and I'm whitey white, and China, and I'm Mexican. I hope we get a place that we American, and it's not all this political stuff, this and that. I feel like, about 10 years, 5 or 10 years, you got to get a lot of people that's here now. Um, is almost a danger to America. I don't think I don't think, I don't think people that should love America enough like they should. I think we've been spoiled, and I was talking. I'm gonna give you this before I go. I was talking to my worker today, and he got into it with another dude that he worked for, that he did work for. So what it was is, I think he's spoiled because when he went around that dude, he got maybe 5 or 6 tools to work with. He come around me, he got so much to work with, so much stuff to make everything easier, better, lightning, this and that. Just for him to work with the other dude, he got to crank up the generator. He got to plug up tools. He got to do this. It's all kind of stuff he got to work with. And I give him better pack this, better at that. He's spoiled. I told him, I said, you spoiled because I really, I everything you kind of need, I kind of try to get it to make it easy on you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that will spoil somebody when you making life so good for him. You know what I'm saying? What up, Corey? Up in his house, up in his thing, man. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um. Yeah, but I feel like he's spoiled because I really try to take care of my workers, the best way I can. I try to pay them, best possible way I can. I try to work the best kind of hours I can for them. I try to put them in things that I know they can do and they good at doing. I know this worker don't like doing the same thing this worker do. So boom, he do this, boom, you do that. Everybody happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like with all that being said, sometimes if you get with somebody else and say, like I said, I try to put a person in a good place of doing what he like to do. The other person just want to work you. He just want, you know, what can you do? I'm gonna push you out there. Hey, try this, try that, try that, try that. And if you don't know how to do none of that, they'll be like, psh.
Hmm.
So I feel like you got to, it's like anybody, your strengths. If a person likes standing up, you can get them a job standing up doing something. If a person likes sitting down, give them a job sitting down doing something, as long as they can be productive. So I
I
just
agree.
think everybody got certain, you know, the tie man is needed, just like the window man is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their certain jobs that they like, they good at, and that's what they do. And I think we got to see what our children sometimes like doing or could do, or we see what they growing up and what they good at, and try to you know instill that in them. But
Yeah.
thinking everybody can do everything is we shouldn't even try to we shouldn't try to put everybody like I talked to somebody today and they was talking about going in a career. I was like, why would you go in that career? Oh, you want something to do different. Nah, that's to me that's just, you know, you don't wait till you get old. You doing something for so long, just try to jump. It's just like a dude. When I see dudes and they be like, "Oh man, I don't kill anybody. If I get divorced, I start over. I'll be glad to start over." And I tell Joe one of them, I ain't starting over. I'm gonna fight for everything that I done built and have. I ain't gonna try to start all the way back over. You know what I'm saying? You'll be a fool that if you start working on a house and a dude mess up a board and whatever and something fall and you say, well, break it all down. Let bit it back up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't starting over. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think sometimes it's hard for some people to get married and try to do other things because that whole starting over thing. See, everybody wants to get married, but everybody don't want to be a husband or a wife or even want to do wifely things. You got women that don't want to clean, don't want to cook, don't want to do certain things, but then they say, "Oh well, I would love to be a wife. I should be a wife. I should be this. I should be that." But a lot of people got to realize it's more than just one thing here. It's more than one thing here to be a wife, a husband, or all that. Everybody feel like they got what it takes to be. Every time I hear a dude, oh, I could have played football, I could have played basketball, this and that. These are the top people in the world. And I feel like just like marriage. Marriage is for now the top people in the world that can handle that shit.
Yeah.
Because ain't that shit easy. A lot of people pushing it like it's easy, but you will cry every day if you get into a marriage or something with somebody that you don't like or you feel like you gonna want out. There's so many people that stay together for a long time, get married in 6 months, they divorce or go their separate ways because they wanted marriage to change the relationship, how they look at each other. If you don't like a person now, marriage ain't gonna make you like them. If you don't want to be with
Oh,
a person now, marriage ain't gonna make you want to be with a person. And I think we got a lot of think marriage is gonna fix problems in their relationship. And I think if your stuff ain't fixed, man, marriage ain't gonna fix it. You know what I'm saying? And we need to let little boys know out here, you know, if they want to be men, you got to start doing men stuff at a young age. You got to start making up your bed, preparing, figuring out, thinking about what you gonna do. One thing I love, if I ask a 6, 7-year old, 8-year old, what you want to be when you grow up, and they actually tell me from the door, I want to do this. At least they got a certain plan. They might divert, might do something totally different, but you got to have a plan. A man try to roll with plans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's all I got for the rant tonight. How they say? Bam. Let me hit the last thing you got to say.
Well, we've made it through another great episode of Hood Talk. We thank everyone for joining with us tonight. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you guys on next Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m.
And we'll see y'all next Tuesday.
Listen. Okay, what? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you. Got him! Got him!
I ain't moving kind of slow.
Bye, Felicia.
Delay.
I'm telling you. I got to do that.
Felicia.
Y'all fancy.
All right. Well, good night to you.
It's all right. My internet just got back on this weekend. We had a little technical difficulty. The reason we didn't do the show last week. But we will be back on next Tuesday. No, we won't. Is it next Tuesday? Okay. We will not be doing the show next Tuesday. It'll be the Tuesday after that. Good luck, Miss Bella, on your safe travels and all that old good stuff. And how they say, hey, anybody, anybody want to partner, anybody want to do a show next to it, let me know, man. We might shake something. All right. What's my boy Broomfield? We might mess around and get something going, man. Next what's name? We're gonna work something. Old Jerry, we've been talking about doing a show one of you, and we might do something next Tuesday. All right, but other than that, we through. And we up out of here. You good? You good?
Yes, I am. Good night, everybody.
Good night and sleep tight and don't let some bite. All right, left. Peace. And we out.